What's up, NFL fans? Starting week 7, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New Orleans Saints. Jags end up winning 31-24. But let's do a quick little recap, kind of an analysis of this game. Let's talk about the first half. Let's start off with the first half. The final score at the end of second quarter was 17-6, favoring the Jags. And really, the Jags defense was doing really good first half. They were shutting down all the deep passes from Derek Carr to Chris Olave. They were shutting down Alvin Kamara's run game as well. All the Saints were doing was pretty much check downs and getting like 2 yards a carry. So I really got to commend the Jags defense for stepping up like that. Josh Allen had like 10 pressures that game also, because the Saints left tackle was out or is out. So Josh Allen was kind of having a field day. But starting that game, the Jags went up, I believe, 14-3. And you thought this game was going to be a flood game. A flood game. And you thought that because the Jags had a fumble in the first half, and then they had not a muff punt, but a turnover off a punt because the dude ran into him, and then the Saints ended up picking the ball up, but they only capitalized with 3 points. With only 3 points. And when that happened, I thought this game was going to be over. I thought it was going to be like let's say a momentum swing. When they stopped them after holding them, when they stopped them after fumbling off the punt, I thought it was over. For sure, I thought it was over. And then they ended up marching downfield and running with Travis Etienne for a nice 20-yard run off a fake reverse or a jet sweep. So it was really, really good play design. Catch a very aggressive defense off guard. So that play worked beautifully. And then Saints finally ended up getting some points to end the half to make it a 8-possession, jeez, an 8-point ball game. In second half, you kind of expect the same thing, Jags to keep rolling. They weren't really rolling either. The Saints defense were doing a heck of a job considering the fact that Saints really couldn't move the ball. So the Saints defense were stepping up to play, especially considering that Trevor Lawrence had a banged up knee. He had only 204 passing yards, but what was really shocking, he was making play with his legs. He had 8 carries, 59 yards. That's about 7.4 yards per carry. His long was 26, and he was running because the Saints defense did not expect him really to run off a bad knee, so they were playing a lot of man coverage with no QB spy. So that played a big part of why he was able to scramble and utilize his legs, which is an awesome job by Trevor Lawrence. Keeps drives going, keeps the defense honest as well. They weren't even really being honest about it, because that's a lot for a quarterback. 8 carries, 60 yards pretty much. That's a lot of yards. So good job by Trevor Lawrence reading the defense pre-snap. Not pre-snap. Excuse me. As the play's rolling. So that's a good job by Trevor Lawrence, which makes the Jags pretty much scary as the year goes on, because he's somehow still getting better. So good job by Trevor Lawrence. Saints are a really good defense. So he needed to utilize his legs. Otherwise, maybe they get stopped. Who knows? But the Saints didn't really get going until the fourth quarter. They didn't coming back, making it a one-possession game after a long... Well, I should take that a little bit back. They had a long drive, like late, mid-third quarter, that lasted all the way up until the late fourth quarter. And that was even scary in itself. The Saints tried to run the ball in with Alvin Kamara like 3 times in a row. Shut down. Completely shut down. And what the Saints ended up doing was, hey, we can't run it with Alvin. We're gonna put Hill at Wildcat formation, put Big 99 in front of him to block him, and that's what happened. That's how they ended up scoring that rushing touchdown after a long, beautiful drive. And then from there, Derek Carr seemed like he was getting in more in rhythm with his players, actually making big plays as well. He was going down deep. He went deep also to Michael Thomas with a beautiful catch. His knee was in bounds. So all you need is one knee to equal 2 feet for a catch in the National Football League. Excuse me, jeez. So that was a heck of a catch. But I'm gonna kind of reverse. Excuse me, jeez. I'm gonna kind of rewind a little bit back to like the second, third quarter. Sometimes I don't understand what Carr's doing. It was a 3rd and 3 or 4th and 3. And I believe you have Chris Olave open for an in route if you just hit him immediately after he breaks his route. But you're just staring down Michael Thomas on a go route. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. And Alvin Kamara, you're not a great pass blocker at all. You got to work on that, as you can see in the clip. And I understand you most of the time you go off for a route, but when you're going to pass block, open your eyes and hit somebody. Hit somebody, man. And even if you get pancaked, Alvin, at least you slow the pass rush down to the point where Carr has maybe a second more, millisecond. I don't know. You know how much a millisecond matters when you throw a pass? Like, everything's off by inches, milliseconds, seconds. So just hit the dude. Just get in the dude's way. It looks like he just kind of dove at the dude. But anyway, Carr was horrible first half, which is why I kind of want to talk about Carr for just a little bit. I thought he was going to get benched first half because those Boo Birds were out. A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of punting is what I'm trying to say. So I thought second half they were going to bench him. And luckily they didn't, because he ended up coming out, balling out second half with 301 yards total. So if you can start going downfield more, Derek, Saints could be pretty good. But until then, you got to prove it. You have to prove that you can do it all 4 quarters. And because there was a lot of third downs that you didn't succeed on, I believe the Saints were like 4 of 6 on 4th down, or like 4 or 5 converting on 4th down. So that's a very high percentage. But it really shouldn't come down to that. You should just get the first down. So, but good job from the Saints. Alvin Kamara was having a heck of a day with as far as catching goes, 12 receptions, 91 yards. That's a lot for a running back. A lot. Rushing the ball, he almost was getting 4 yards a carry, 17 carries, 62 yards. So he was doing his thing. He was the offense. But let's get back to the fourth quarter. After the Saints tied it up 24-24, I mean, Saints, you can't put Tyrann Mathieu against Christian Kirk. Mathieu is not young no more. Mathieu, I'm not going to be surprised if he has 1-2 more years left. This play right here of him getting burnt by Kirk shows that he's getting older, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens. Age does not care about nobody, and you could just see it right there in the clip. So Christian Kirk, beautiful move. Good job from the Jags actually using that mismatch to their advantage, and it worked out beautifully for a touchdown. Ended up going up 31-24 after that, and the Saints had a chance to come back and tie the game up. They had a chance. Beautiful. I wouldn't say beautiful play call, but beautiful. It was just a good play, but a bad job by the defense. I felt like there was 2 guys committed to like the crow route, so you had the tight end like in a corner route, and he just drops it. He drops it off his fingertips. Could have tied the game up. Next following play, he tries to throw a horrible fade, by the way. Horrible fade to Michael Thomas. Maybe he underthrew it because he wanted the pass interference, but I think the refs were going to let him play it out a little bit. And I thought it was a good no call anyway. Even if you did think it was a call, I did not think it was a call. But horrible pass from Derek Carr, and they end up losing that game 31-24. So, another thing about Carr, you gotta know to live another possession. You lost by 7 points, okay? And this is the reason why you lost 7 points. You had an open check down on the third down. Wouldn't have been first down. But because you want to be Superman and be the hero and make a play and fit it in the tight window, guess what? Ends up being tipped. The linebacker catches it and goes for 6. And you lost the game. If you'd have checked it down, you could have won the game 27-24. But because of that turnover, and they capitalized something you couldn't do when your defense actually got a turnover, you couldn't get 7. That's the main point of the game right there. That's the main thing I got from this game. The turnovers and the points you get off of it. That's really about it, man. You gotta take care of that rock. Take care of the rock on both sides of the ball, from the Jags and the Saints. Take care of the ball. You guys are two. I think the Saints are better than 3-4, but I guess you are what your record shows, right? So that's gonna conclude this video. I was a little bit back and forth on these quarters, like it wasn't straight through the game. Like I would bounce from like the fourth quarter back to like the third. But hopefully you guys still enjoy this video. If you did, like and subscribe. There's going to be more to come. I also post Madden videos as well. So I'm just really trying to have good entertainment for you guys. Just something for you guys to watch. My NFL analysis reaction. I love doing it. So please feel free to share this with your friends as well. And like I said, there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And I'm interested to see how Week 7 goes for the rest of the National Football League. It's going to be fun. Some big matchups going on. So I'm excited. I'm excited to break these games down. So yeah, that's it. Peace. Thanks for watching.